those in YouTube, welcome back. I know this is third video, just kind of for your viewing pleasure. You're asking about how you anchor. You talking about the fleets?
No, I'm talking about how do you anchor units?
Anchor, as in stop them from moving.
Yeah, completely.
With the
Even
battle
worse.
plans active, you really can't. That's why I was suggesting
Well,
that.
that's they keep on going. They keep on trying to attack San Luis
Uh,
non-stop.
well, there is left click there for a second. There's an undefended state there that they're trying to march out of, so attacking him holds them. What you probably actually want to do is have one of them attack and have the other march strategically redeploy east of province. So, yeah, right click there and press B and they'll get there quick. And the other guys, you're going to want to attack San Luis because you don't want them to take that province undefended. So the other guys won't do anything while they reorganize, and like they won't attack immediately after. And these guys, you need them to attack to hold those guys in place. So, yeah.
Alright, we can unpause now.
Cool. For those watching on YouTube, I screwed up the lobbying a little. I didn't realize it's kind of chintzy, but I could have done medium lobby effort. I had just enough daily political power gain. You can't go below 0%, so I would have gotten free extra support with the House and Senate if I'd done that. I didn't. It's probably an unintended interaction with the MIOs. Where they are costing political power, the lobbying is costing. You're ending up in the negative, but since you can't go negative, you're just getting essentially free political power. The combination of the two. Feels too cheaty. I'm already getting a little. So I only did small lobbying effort, which is almost precisely using the amount of political power and gaining. I'm still getting a little for free, but not enough to they would consider it an exploit. I don't know. Game doesn't handle running out of political power well. Just to give you an idea, since I have a little bit of intel of what's going on across the border, it looks like they're marching into Chihuahua, like they pulled the unit that was defending it, and they're getting ready to swing around towards Durango. So,
Yeah.
the Carlists have started the Spanish Civil War is now a four-way civil war.
Yeah, also, why is there a ton of front lines? There's 3 front lines on one area.
It's because it redraws the front lines every time a division takes a state. That's the problem with not migrating stuff. You got that those guys who are attacking into the mountains?
No,
Do you
yet,
see
but
in the west? They're attacking, for some reason they're attacking into the mountains instead of into the, well, they're going to take it, so I guess it's not it would have been quicker if they'd attacked the desert, though. That's why the problem with the plan automation. I guess spearheads might have worked better than offensive lines, but I usually manually tell people where to go and don't bother with the offensive lines, with actually letting the generals make the choices because they're dumb. You got those guys who are south of Reynosa, if you look, in the east along the Gulf Coast. You could probably take Reynosa with some of those divisions, just divert them. You see those 5 divisions in the jungle?
Yeah.
If you select them. They're all, well, they're not all attacking. You got 2, the 3rd and 1st Infantry Divisions are not attacking or doing anything currently. You see them, the 2 that aren't attacking. You could send them up into Reynosa and take that area, and take Matamoros as well. You could have one march into Reynosa and the other into Matamoros. You could actually take them both with those 2 divisions. What I would suggest is having...
Grab you. Put on you.
Yep. And then I would have, yeah, the guys who are moving into Matamoros, I would select them. The 3rd Infantry Division, I think it was. Left-click them. And I would shift right-click to Reynosa, because that won't be in your rear. You won't need to defend that once you take Reynosa, so then they can go there to deal with any counterattack. And if there is none, they can just swing into the enemy rear.
Well, for these guys, I want them to go up without taking that, so I'm just gonna...
You're about to push them out of the mountains. Like, you can just... At this point, you're just gonna roll right to Monterey if you push your attack. That thing that's at 77%, how many days till that battle's over? If you hover over it, it'll tell you.
This one?
Oh. 122 days, that's not actually going to end anytime soon. I would take the 6 divisions they're attacking then. There. Left-click them. 122 days is pointless. I would have them attack into the desert to the north instead. Because they're clearly not...
Right here? Or here?
There. Where the offensive line is, where they didn't decide to attack for some reason, even though it was the weakest point in the enemy front line. And if you click on the battle, it's at 77%. I'm just curious what's going on there. Oh, it's because nobody has any attack power whatsoever. That's interesting. But you did suffer a lot of losses.
Yeah.
But, yeah, those guys who are... There's just a single division that's still attacking there. If you see it. That one division that's moving there. You might have them instead attack east into those mounds that your other divisions are pushing into and help with that battle. That's probably more important. And now, when I unpause, you'll see that other battle should just stop, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And instead they're going for,
They're going back.
Well, they're trying, to pull back to defend those mountains. And I mean, they can have the mountains. If you take Monterey, they're screwed.
Carlos upgrade.
Yeah, that was just from the Carlos rising up a second ago. Greatly weaken the nationalists, and yep. This gives the Republicans a fighting chance. Without making the war so quick that if they win the Spanish Civil War too quickly, as I said, they won't take the Soviet aid, and that's bad. That cuts off a lot of their economic focuses. This is probably good. You don't need to worry about them. They'll win in due time, especially because the Italians and the Poles will eventually send them. At least the Italians will eventually send them volunteers. Poles have a focus for it too, I think, but it's pretty far down their political tree. Let's see. Polish Peasant Union hasn't yet flipped communist, but will.
We took Matamoros. We just pushed them out, so now they're in the mountains. So now we have taken the mountains.
Yeah, they have a focus that's about sending volunteers, but it's pretty far down.
Okay.
You got troops moving into Reynosa. All you have to do is, if you look north,
Yeah.
when those guys get to Reynosa, then they can move right into Monterey. The enemy's not going to be able to defend it in time. Completely undefended. In fact,
we're gonna grab these 2 guys.
And just shift right click there, and then they'll march all the way to... And when the other division that's attacking, I would just wait. The 1st Infantry Division is the name of it. on that. You can select it there.
Yeah.
But yeah. And
That's it.
Yeah. you can shift right click there. If they make it there, you may, if they scramble a defender, you might want to call it off. But if they can get there undefended, then all you have to do is take San Luis and you win. All the remaining divisions will surrender. The war will be over.
Yeah.
Yep. And this will be a very short civil war. Indeed, have been a very short civil war.
Should I grab these two guys and make them push down on San Luis since they're losing? I think by the time they win this war, we're already gonna be taking Reynosa, Monterrey. So we should probably have these guys going downward.
2 divisions there. Yeah, I might just have them attack San Luis. Those two guys who are north of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Should I just have them come down?
Yeah, they'll at least split up the enemy attacks, so they're less likely to get crits than the division that's currently attacking them. Until the enemy has better coordination. Because I think they have 2 divisions defending, so this will break up their attacks a little.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, now they're going there. Up. Good.
I mean, you're winning, and you're gaining army experience from the thing, and it's a quick, relatively bloodless civil war.
Yep. I'm gaining it pretty quickly, too.
I mean, some players will intentionally drag out a civil war like this just to milk the army experience, and for that matter, so that the AI can add build slots to their states. It's an option, but they are marching into your northwest, where you have literally no defending.
Either or way doesn't matter, because by the time this is over, I'm gonna go right back to sending volunteers over to Spain and... Well, yeah, mainly just Spain.
I mean, Spain is doing all right, and at this point, in the Italian communists are winning. Neither of them needs your help, surprisingly. Like after the Carlists rose up, the nationalists are screwed.
The Polish are... That civil war is done.
Yep, and the Italian communists are winning. They don't really need help.
The only one I really need to focus on is just, well, Spain.
Spain doesn't really need the help either. The Italians will send them divisions. In fact, I don't think the Italian communists can take, they have a certain focus where I don't think they can take it anymore after Spanish Civil War is over, called the Garibaldi Legion.
Real quick. Let's see. The Soviet Union's the only one sending volunteers right now, but I think Polish Peasant Union is gonna send them more. Which if I really want to help them, I can negotiate licenses. They will request that. Well, they will accept it.
I mean, you can negotiate licenses with Spain. I would do it. It doesn't hurt. But see the Italian Union there?
Yeah.
Actually, that civil war is probably the one that's more important that it ends quickly in favor of the communists. So if you really want to send volunteers, I would focus on Italy. Spain will drag on for a long time, and that's actually not a bad thing. But Italy, you want the Italian communists to send volunteers to the Spanish Civil War, because if they don't get a focus that will increase their volunteer cap, and it will make the AI more likely to send volunteers to civil wars throughout the rest of the game. It's called the Garibaldi Legion. If you click on the Italian focus tree thing there, and then it's a huge focus tree, so scroll way down, it's in the bottom right. It's in there, it's in the communist tree. See the Garibaldi Legion there? It's above.
Oh, yeah.
They can only take that while Spain is in a civil war. So if the Spanish Civil War ends too quickly, they won't be able to take that. In fact, a lot of countries in the game have focuses that can only be taken during the Spanish Civil War. It's actually kind of annoying how many. So if the Spanish Civil War ends quickly, then they won't be able to take those focuses. And actually, Spain will be weaker for it because they won't have taken the Soviet aid, and they lose cores in a lot of their states once the Civil War is over. The strongest Republican Spain actually emerges from a prolonged civil war that they win. It's
Well,
weird.
national Spain is pretty much done for. It's split up in many different ways.
Done for. The Republicans have the biggest chunk of territory, the largest chunk of troops, and the
No, I'm talking
nationalists
about
have been
far
split in
left.
two.
I'm
Uh,
talking about the Portugalist and nationalists. They're
the,
pretty much done.
the
They'll get
nationalists
them.
will hold out for a surprisingly long time, but yeah, they'll lose eventually. Probably. Don't look at just the amount of land. As I said, land doesn't win wars. It depends how many divisions the Carlists have. The Carlists don't have many divisions. The Nationalists will just take that land back. But yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's helping. Kinda will make the war longer. So we just want the war to go as long as possible, but we also want
Spain to
Spain,
win.
well, Republican Spain to win.
They're going to
For
win
when
if the
they,
war drags out. More likely than not, the Republicans will win this war, and it'll be a long war, and that's all good. You want the Italian Union to win their war fairly quickly because they can't do a lot of their focus tree until they finish their civil war. So the
that's
Italian
what
communists benefit from a quick civil war, whereas the Spanish benefit from a long civil war. It's weird. It's just the way the focus trees are. So if you wanted to help a civil war and focus on just one, I would focus on the Italian Civil War. Italy is
yeah.
also a much more important country than Spain. It's a
Um,
major industrial power. Yeah. You got some kind of. You're about to win that war, anyways. If you wanted to drag it out, you would need to rush divisions up and contain them near Chihuahua and Garez and like retake the state. And it's probably
yeah,
easier
because
just to win the war.
as soon as I take Monterrey, I'm most likely gonna go straight down. Though I could put the capital in Chihuahua.
It's
No,
not.
I think
It's based on the percentage of victory points. They won't surrender until they lose both Monterrey and San Luis. They will surrender when they lose
yeah.
both those victory points, not before. So.
Alright, true, yeah.
But you should have an easy time taking both those.
That's Monterrey taken.
Yep. Now you just need to take San Luis and they lose. Pretty simple.
Yeah, so I'll have these guys going. Never mind, they're already defending. Well, helping attack these guys for the meantime.
I mean, you really just need to hold Monterey, like, as in defend. And if you go further south,
Yeah.
you're not currently taking San Luis, but you're about to encircle them. And then you're going to want to probably redraw some front lines and make new plans and get the planning bonuses, because none of your divisions are getting planning right now because all defensive lines have been deleted at this point. So you'll probably want to redraw the front lines. In fact, you could actually do that now for a lot of them, like delete and redraw some of these lines because it's all messed up because of all the land you've taken. If you just delete all those overlapping lines.
Yeah.
I would just delete all three in the northeast because it's a mess. And you don't know who's... I didn't mean those ones. Those were fine. In the northeast.
I'll put those ones back real quick.
You're not putting it back with the divisions who are over there. You're putting it back with the divisions in Monterey. We're going to try and strategically redeploy all... I would Control H them. The guys in Monterey. Just press Control H. Because that's the wrong. But I was saying I would just delete that front that's near Monterey. Yeah. Because it's a mess. And you don't know who's where. And then, like, unselect and if you press, like, escape, because you have all 16 divisions. The guys in Monterey are stationary, so you can give them new orders. Generally, you can only really give orders to stationary divisions without messing up battles. But if you
Yeah.
click them, you can give them like just a little front line where they currently are. And then you can give them an offensive line wherever you want them to attack next.
Well, I'd say we go here.
Well, the way the province borders are, just keep in mind they're going to have to move through either the province to the east of that or the province to the west of that. So,
True.
just so you
So
know
the
the way that the path they're going to take.
Yeah, so the best option would just be encircle them more and more.
Yeah, you can break them up into little pieces. If you attack into the desert, you'll break them and you'll cut off anything further northwest from their capital. Then they won't be able to resupply, and then they'll move slower, and you won't lose as much territory.
And then
yeah, those guys are currently attacking, so if you give them new orders, it will call off their current attack. However, you could give that division that's defending an order, the one near Mexico City.
Yeah, well, take down.
Yeah, if you want them to do that, you could give them a front line and an offensive line on San Luis, and then they'll make plans once they defeat the division that's attacking them. Because they're currently defending against that division. I hear a dog.
I can do this.
You're selecting the division near Mexico City. I don't think you know. You have the 4th Infantry Brigade selected. That division that's currently in a fight down there. That's kind of necessary to prevent them from breaking out around San Luis. But I was saying, if you gave that division in San Luis an order to an offensive line into attacking San Luis, then they would gain battle planning once they're done with their current defensive battle. Do you see the battle that's green? South of San Luis? That yes, that division, the 4th Infantry Brigade. If you give them an offensive line in the current province, and then that's if you give them a front line on the current province, because they can't really do offensive lines before you have front. If you right-click there, and then you can draw an offensive line somewhere, then they'll start gaining planning once their current battle is over. Because right now, they're in a fight, so they can't make plans for their next fight yet. Right.
Okay.
I just listed some more rifles for sale at a reduced price if you want to buy them. Some more M1s. Yep. Should be able to do it in just one delivery. That was the idea. Yeah, if that division that's on that front near San Luis, if you give them an offensive order, I was saying, because right now they have a front line, but they don't have an attack order.
Oh. Give them an offensive line?
Yeah, and you know they have an attack order when there's an arrow somewhere that's saying with our attack. The front line is just telling them where they should stand when they're going to attack. And the offensive line will tell them where they actually should go.
Okay, so I'll just put it there.
Yeah.
Because once they take San Luis, it doesn't even matter. They lose either way.
Yeah. It's gonna require a little bit
Yeah.
of
None of these would
time.
matter. Actually, these fish would be going this way. It mainly doesn't matter. Take San Luis and
Well,
we
it
win.
prevents if you see where they're attacking. If they don't take
Because
that,
they're going up.
if they don't take that mountain that they're attacking into, then those guys can move east and cut off the divisions to the north from your supply network. Like, they need to be where they do what they're currently doing. That's actually smart AI. And the other place they're attacking is to cut off San Luis, so that cut off all the enemies from their supply network. So those are both. Every fight that you're fighting needs to happen right now. Like, these are all good. Like, the AI made the right calls, and you made the right calls. I would just let the fights happen at this point, because one fight
Alright.
cuts off San Luis, the other establishes a strong defensive line so they can't push to the ocean, and the other is it divisions cuts off, like near Monterrey. It cuts them into smaller pieces. Their forces in the desert
I'll be
there.
right back.
All right. Pause the stream for those in YouTube. Got the recording going again. I stepped away to grab a tiny snack. Cool. Sold you some more rifles. Hmm.
Yeah, looks to be just about over for them. I do see they're gonna try and attack me from behind for that mountain area, that mountain region. Where they're going. Yeah, it looks like they're trying to get to Durango.
Yeah.
Should I probably pull someone off to go defend Durango?
Yeah, you should be able to strategically redeploy a division or two to Durango and just put them on a fallback line there to make
Yeah,
sure they don't take that from you.
I'll grab this. What is this?
You only
Brigade,
need
yeah.
like one division because it's a mountain province. It's easy to defend. But
oh, why is it fallback line? No, I don't want that.
those watching YouTube, I did a revision of this cast. It's still kind of garbage because it has let's see, the original A17 has light machine guns and small bomb bay. This has a heavy machine gun, which is a little cheaper, less effective, but it's cast. Its job isn't really to engage in dogfights, and a defensive turret and dive breaks to make it harder to shoot down. It's actually got substantially more air defense than the small fighters when on cast missions, so you can deploy a bunch of them. And
Oh yeah, can't these guys just do short bombardment now? The fucking naval invasions for mine point mine sweeping.
you can't do shore bombardment anywhere because none of the battles are in coastal provinces anymore. Like, they didn't decide to contest. You could actually stick those.
I'll just put them back in exercise then.
Yeah, I'd put them back on exercises. I mean, the opportunity to do shore bombardment is over. They didn't oppose you marching right off the coast, and everything else is out of range of the naval guns. At least in the game. In real life.
For some reason, he's falling back instead of just moving normal. I don't know why, but oh well, he's still moving either way.
I can't see anything because I stopped watching your screen. And
trying to make him go
this.
strategic deployment. But he's fine. He'll most likely get there in time.
Anyways, are you good for me to unpause it, or?
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes they go out of strategic redeployment because you select them while it was paused. That's a common cause.
I want to keep the speed on 3 because, well, these games are very slow.
While you're in the middle of a civil war? After, yeah, I can totally see it. But in the middle of a civil war, you want to keep the speed on 3?
I guess after the Civil War, we could turn it up afterwards. Oh yeah, also speaking of decisions. Oh, okay, communism's still rising. Yeah, communism's the main thing rising now. So. Oh yeah, I can partial mobilization, like you said, soon.
How much political power do you have?
58. I need 150.
Yeah, you're improving worker conditions. I might worry about the church things. Let's see. Right now you have weak church. That does benefit factory output, but you lose the opportunity to get stability. I might transfer lands to the church once you have the political power for it. That'll improve your stability. It'll hurt factory output, but you don't have that many military factories anyways. You gotta remember, factory output only affects military factories, of which you have 3. Whereas stability reduces your consumer goods factor and allows you to build factories faster. So, and gets you political power gain.
Yeah.
And high stability can also benefit your factory and dockyard output. How are you doing for army experience?
I have 33.
I was gonna say, when you get 35, you could do quick improvisation and get more command power, so you can give people promotions faster, stuff like that. But yeah. So we get some music going and
Alright, well, it looks like this war is about to end, so we're about to take this mountain. We're also about to take this little area right here, too. Yeah, so we're about to completely cut off their capital.
Yep. That'll give an encirclement penalty to the men in San Luis, which will make them have a harder time fighting. If they're surrounded by enemies on every side, they don't control any neighboring provinces, then they suffer a pretty nasty penalty. So
we have the guy back at number 2. He has no orders. So, I could have him move down and frontline these guys. Actually, in case anything goes wrong, I'll keep them at Durango. And yeah, they just got encircled.
If you want me to see what you're talking about, you probably should share your screen again. I stopped watching it earlier and it doesn't seem to be available anymore.
It's fine, everything's looking fine, actually.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, they just got encircled. So. Now it's just all a matter of, well, take the capital. We take the capital, as you said. If you're correct, we should just win the whole war after we take their capital.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have all 5 of these guys just spearhead straight to San Luis.
I mean, there's no hurry. If you take a little bit longer, you can get planning bonuses and take their capital with fewer losses.
And they're completely encircled. Oh, we killed one of their guys. These guys are kind of losing and winning at the same time. That war's about done. I have you guys go down there. Because you're useless at this thing. Unless you're actively helping. You can stay there. I should pause it.
Just very quickly reassigning reassigning a couple carriers. I'm going to create an Atlantic carrier group. Should have done that earlier.
Well, the war's wrapped up. I ain't gonna be able to do anything in time.
In time? You said in time.
Well, they went around and take those free naval bases, but they aren't gonna be able to do anything before I take their capital. So Civil War's over. They have no choice. And if it isn't, then, well, already pretty much have encircled some of their men. And right after I take this, I'm just gonna encircle more of their men here. No, I'm just waiting. Come on, pal, die fast. You're making my stability go down.
Sorry, what about making your stability go down?
Nothing.
gonna start revising a actually.
I'll be right back again. Okay, I'm back.
I was just working on an anti-air cruiser design. It's coming along nicely. Capital ships are the ones that suffer most of the air attacks in a naval battle. Very rarely do screens get targeted, so that often heavy cruisers are a great way to provide anti-air protection for your fleet. They'll suffer most attacks. Something to think about, Core, because you're going to want to eventually build a navy after you've conquered Central America and have a bunch of dockyards. It may not sound like you're going to have a bunch of dockyards, but every one of those little countries in Central America, Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama, right? Core? I said every one of those countries in Central America. What?
What about the countries?
Every one of those little countries in Central America is going to give you 3 naval dockyards at least when you conquer them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'll get at least 18 dockyards from conquering Central America. Plus Belize, which you can buy from the British, you can release as a puppet. They'll build 3 more naval dockyards to be a focus, and then you eventually can integrate them. So you can end up with 21 naval dockyards just from Central America, plus the Caribbean. The point is you're going to have a rather substantial navy. In fact, you can end up with more naval dockyards than I have as America, if you do things right. So you're going to have a substantial fleet at some point. Like, the Mexican fleet is not going to be a joke. So I was talking a little bit about fleet design. I was saying people underestimate putting anti-air guns on ships, or they get the wrong idea. They think there's no such thing as an anti-air cruiser in this game. That's because they try and put anti-air guns on light cruisers. Light cruisers never get targeted by enemy aircraft, or almost never, unless there are no capital ships. That is, battleships, battle cruisers, or heavy cruisers in a fleet. But if there are, most of the enemy, like dive bombers, torpedo bombers that they're attacking fleet, will go right for the heavy cruisers, battle cruisers, and battleships. So heavy cruisers are great to put lots of anti-air on to protect the battle cruisers and battleships, because you don't trade off as much potential attack for a SWAT as you do with a battleship if you give it anti-air guns, and they still get targeted at a decent amount of the time. So I'm building a anti-air cruiser to accompany my fleet to protect, especially like the carriers, but battleships as well. It's a good thing to keep in mind in the long run.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm paused it, but like, there's even ways where you could have gotten a couple three dockyards out of the Mexican junta here if you'd really wanted, but you would have had to have the Civil War.
There goes a Mexican junta.
Yep. That's one of the Civil Wars you can end up experiencing. Done.
They gave 50% of their stockpiled equipment. Sure, I'll gladly take back my Springfields, thank you. And all my trucks.
Springfields. Oh, Springfields. Those are. I thought that's an American rifle design. I was slightly confused.
Yeah, they kind of took it from me.
Oh yeah, some of the ones that, yeah, I told you before. They got some of it when your Civil War broke out. Makes sense.
Well, it was Control H to call them off, right? Or was it just H?
What? Control
That
H removes them from battle plans. H makes them stop moving.
Yep, never mind. Okay. Well, next step is, now that they're all done, and now that the rebellion should be put in its place. Yep. Support the Spanish left. What's this deal? Because I can do it now.
The support the Spanish left decision will send rifles to the Spanish Republic. I mean, that's an easy way to help them out a little bit and get some army experience. And that's a reason you don't want the war to necessarily end quickly, because every time you take that decision, you either get army or navy experience. It's pretty powerful.
Speaking of which, I have over 35 army experience.
Yeah, so you should probably grab quick improvisation so you can build up your command staff quicker. Your generals, that is. What?
Where do I get that?
Hold on. If you screen share, I'll just show you. And
Never mind, I found it. Quick improvisation, right?
yeah, quick improvisation. It's spirit of the army. It's the middle of the army
I
spirits.
found it.
Yep. It used to be that professional officer corps would also give you daily command power gain, but they got rid of that. So now the only army spirit that gives command power is quick improvisation. Interestingly, when you go communist, you gain access to a spirit called ideological loyalty, which gives you manpower, which is probably even more useful. There are some focuses in this game that provide some benefit that's economic instead of military that are army spirits. Like non-aligned, you
I
could.
should also be turning communist eventually because PCM is now over all ruling popularities. So now I'm technically considered communist.
I mean, you're still non-aligned, but yeah, you're communist. The problem is any of the focuses that turn you communist weaken the Catholic Church, I think. Or no, only the rebellion. Party of the Revolution doesn't. Um, yeah, if you do Party of the Revolution, you won't experience a rebellion. So yeah, at some point, there's that.
What can I do? I can modify. Whatever. You said I get the ambitious unions. Oh yeah, Confederation of Mexico.
Yeah, I mean this is a good time for your yeah,
Right.
you were going for rural schools, right? Like what did you just finish? Rural infrastructure?
Yeah, rural infrastructure. I'm now on peripheral infrastructure, and then it's rural schools.
Yep.
And then I plan on going for Confederation of the Mexican Workers, and then just straight down that.
Yeah, I mean that's your
Yeah.
economic tree. It's very powerful. Where's curious how your infrastructure? Ah, yes. You got some infrastructure in Guadalajara and
And
Durango, Guerrero, Veracruz.
for our friends over here, now that are done with the war, we're gonna put them in training.
You're talking about training more divisions.
Oh, hey, some of them were awarded medals. This division has been awarded a medal.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
eligible for a medal. It would cost you political power to award the medals, so you probably want to wait a
Huh?
while. Since right now,
Okay, whoa. Excuse me. Well, one, why do I have German guns?
probably because the Germans sent or sold some guns to the junta, is my best guess. Although
Hmm.
a rebellion gets crushed, the game just randomly reassigns what country made the guns to some other country. Like when I won the Second German Civil War in one of my other games, suddenly they were all British guns. The guns weren't actually from Britain, but the game just decided that they belonged to Britain. It
Let
usually
me
picks a country with the same ideology as the one that got defeated. So
back
in
on
that
here.
game, Britain had went non-aligned. In the Second Civil War, you fight against the non-aligned. Um, Here they were fascists, and the Germans are fascists. They probably got German guns for that reason.
Alright, I'm ready to unpause.
Cool.
Then once I get there. Oh yeah, while they're going there, actually, grab some nice guy. How many volunteers can I bring over into Italy? New volunteer. One volunteer. Okay. I'll bring in like
One
the
thing you
first.
may not be aware of is there's the whole junior officer corps things. If you go over to the officer corps where you selected the army spirit before, under officers, you'll see all these junior officers who are in charge of divisions, and they're the people that you promote to be in charge of armies. They're the guys who become your generals. Um,
Hold on, I'm sending volunteers to Italy.
oh, well, I was gonna say this might influence what division you send as a volunteer division to Italy. You might want to send the division with your most experienced junior officer because he gains experience while he's commanding the division, and then you can promote him to become one of your generals later. That's why I recommended quick improvisation. It's specifically to promote junior officers quicker.
Uh, this dude, he got awarded a medal and he has full experience. He's level 3. What else? Anything?
4 experience. Are you talking about your junior officers?
I don't even know about.
Hold on. If you screen share this, I might want to explain it a little bit because it's a little bit confusing the first time you see it. The junior officer corps. Basically, there's an experience number that indicates how many experience points they've got. At 300, they would start as a level 2 general. At 800, I think it's 800, or maybe no, it was 200. They'd start as a level 2. As 500, they would start as a level 3. The division is 3rd level, but I was trying to indicate if you open the officer corps thing and then click officers instead of generals. It's on the right side, top, there. And now you can sort by experience or citations. So if you...
I think they're all level 3. They're all level 3.
No, that's not the level of the officer. That's the level of the men under their command, which is important a little bit for deciding who to promote because the men under their command lose experience when their officers promoted. But it's only marginally important. If you sort by experience, click on the experience button, it'll put the most experienced guys at the top. And so, yeah, your most experienced officer is the guy in charge of the cavalry division, but he also can't get any medals. If you wanted to promote someone who has a medal later, the guy in charge of the 3rd infantry division. He's your 2nd most experienced officer, and he can already receive a medal, which means if you give him a medal, he'd gain 100 experience. And yeah. Although maybe, yeah, it's probably actually a good idea.
Yeah, I need 60 command power if I wanted to promote him.
Yeah, you don't need to promote him right now. In fact, you probably don't want to, but you can have him send his division to Italy, and he'll gain more experience fighting in Italy, is what I was trying to say.
How do I right-click the pandas division?
Yep, right-clicking will focus the camera on the division. It's right there. The 3rd infantry division.
Yeah, this. So this
yeah, it was already the one you were going to send to Italy. Okay. I was going to say that's the best, probably the best division to send to Italy. It's the one you were going to send to. Otherwise, anyways, it appears, but I didn't know that. So, because, yeah, that's got the 2nd most experienced officer and the most experienced one who can receive a medal. So, this is a good way to potentially get another infantry officer if you get someone at 400 experience, or you can just promote someone under 200 and they'll be a level 1 who's almost level 2.
Well, not that Civil War is over, and Caudillo's dead now since he started an uprising. I just got a big boost in stability.
Oh, I didn't realize it gave you it like gave you an event when the war was over or something.
No, it just gave me a humongous boost in stability. I have 61% now.
That's good. That's enough that you could potentially. It could have also been the approved worker conditions has been ticking, and you've been the raids too. But yeah. Now that you're over 60%, you don't have to worry about a Cristero rebellion unless you go to war again or something. The Cristeros, if you remember, they rebel if your stability is under 60% and you're under atheist state. Although I think you lose 10% stability when you have atheist state, so actually that's not true. You still need a little more stability. before you can avoid a Cristera's rebellion. But you're getting there. You're getting there for sure.
If I wanted to take out the Catholic Church, then well,
What?
pretty easy civil war. If I wanted to take out the Catholic Church, I could just put them in a civil war real quick.
You'd still have to deal with them. You'd get a rebellion, but you would still have to deal with the Catholic spirit, which can be beneficial if you get to eat the estate and you have max stability anyways. But if you go to your focus tree, and I can actually just see this in your thing too. If you select a focus that would weaken them, like repeal the Cow's Law, enforce the Cow's Law. Yes, you'd lose 5% stability. That's what I thought. So you need to make it to 65% stability before you can go to atheist state and not risk a rebellion. So you're not quite there yet, but you're getting closer.
And nothing's now stopping my stability from lowering. Now that.
Nothing's stopping it from lowering. And I understand what you're saying. Your stability is going up because of improved worker conditions. If you look over in the decisions tab, it'll show you how much longer that decision is going to be going on. But you're also losing stability due to increasing communist support because they're not your ruling party yet. Your stability would actually go up by flipping communists at this point. Because they're your most popular faction or ideology.
Yeah.
Anyways. But yeah. Soon-ish you'll be able to enforce the Cow's Law and stuff like that. You need to get the rural schools anyways before you can worry about that, so. I heard a radio thing.
It's fine.
I was thinking there was like an event. I'm like, oh cool, something happened. Oh, got one of my favorite songs going here. Got to develop improved ship torpedo launchers. Newport News.
I see they definitely pushed a little more.
Carrier specialists.
They took Lost Spezia. From what it looks like they from what it looks like they're going straight over to Genova. That's also looks like a big city, a bunch of railroads there too. Oh, I just realized my logistics will go on finally up. Amelia Airport.
Darn it. It's actually a good thing if she doesn't disappear, because then she can potentially become an ace if the United States goes to war. I was hoping she wouldn't disappear. It actually affects the gameplay just a little bit. She's a level 3 ace, which are pretty rare, so if I'm not mistaken. Amelia Earhart and Fred Noonan. Well, we'll never know what happened to them. All sorts of crazy theories exist, but probably just engine failure.
Oh yeah, we're up to 3 speed now that the Civil War is over. Speaking of which, these guys are getting training.
I'm just, hold on, I'm doing something with, queuing up some more ships. About to have Jeez, how many available dockyards? 30. Oh, just 2 more. There we go.
I just realized the Italian Union's also part of the anti-fascist committee.
Part of the you mean they're led by the an anti-fascist committee?
Yeah, they're led by the anti-fascist committee, which means, obviously, they're an enemy of the Germans.
Yeah.
Would most likely be good on our favor, since right now
They
we're
wouldn't have to be led by an
wow.
anti-fascist committee to be an enemy of the Germans. The communists and fascists are sworn enemies, basically.
Surprisingly, this is the first time, one of the first times I've actually had a problem in a HOI4 game with the Nationalists instead of the Allies.
With the nationalists. You talk about the Spanish Civil War?
Spanish Civil War, the Repubblica Socially Italiana, German Reich. They're all basically enemies right now.
Oh, because you often play right wing where you're fighting the Allies, you're saying?
Yeah, usually most of the time I'm fighting the Allies,
Well,
not the not the fascists.
I mean, it's much more interesting and challenging taking on sometimes the Allies, I'll admit, but nonetheless, you gotta play as the bad guys to be fighting the Allies a lot of time. Not always. You can fight them as the communists. Quite often, I'll find myself fighting the British as like communist France or something. That happens too.
Yeah, that is true. You did say France is going down their communist path, so does that mean like civil? Do you mean like as in Civil War communist? Uh, you mean like
France can go
communist
communist. They have
Civil War?
several different ways to do it. They can have a civil war
Yeah,
or not
like
have a civil war.
are they gonna flip or are they gonna have a Civil War first?
They flip peacefully and then they have a civil war. First they go communist and
Uh,
then the fascists start a civil war. A little later.
uh,
And that's only if they
yeah,
go a specific focused path. There's another
that
focused path where they don't ever have a civil war. It depends whether they seek reconciliation with the fascists or they seek to crush them. but they seek to crush him in the fascist revolt. So,
Yeah, but if they crush the fascists, wouldn't that mean the fascists would lose pretty quickly then?
yeah, I
Once they
mean,
flip.
the fascists lose pretty quickly if if they try and rise up.
Okay.
They can also
Just
get
make
a
sure,
communist
'cause,
uprising in their OI game if they try and oppose the militarization of the Rhineland, and the Germans don't back down. That's a thing that can happen. But yeah, for some reason, the game marked my light cruiser is obsolete. 143 HP. Oh, it's because I'm supposed to do one of these new torpedo
I
cruisers.
don't know. It doesn't look like what's what's the red people's name in the Spanish Civil War, the Regional Defense Council of Aragon. It looks like they're probably not gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, the anarchists rarely do win. um, excuse me.
It looks like, yeah, Republican Spain's gonna win this, just by the looks of it.
It's usually how it goes. So just building a cruiser that is armed to the teeth with torpedoes. Hmm. Yep, for anyone looking at this in YouTube, this ship is, well, a little slow for a cruiser, but it murders capital ships with this many torpedoes, even while they're screened with under a Lancer Admiral. And it's got enough armor that destroyers and other light cruisers have a tough time with it. So, yeah, although it still needs escorts of other cruisers that have more light attack. It's a pretty decent design. Hmm. It's almost never attacked by aircraft. Cut costs and make those guns weak. Future iterations will have higher level dual purpose guns, which will be even better against aircraft. Or, yeah, it's a screen ship. Screen ships don't get targeted. Actually use this to do convoy defense, hence the depth charges. I should put these on. This is fine. Still there, Core? Sorry, I was
Yeah.
designing a new cruiser, which will totally annihilate enemy battleships. The thing I'm worried about is that the United Kingdom might potentially decide to go non-aligned or fascist. And if they do, they're going to be a problem, and I'm going to need ships that can potentially deal with them. So, yeah, I'm preparing for that. Let's see. Yeah, still can't tell if the British, what political path they're going. Stay as she goes or change in course. Either way, they would get a national spirit, which they don't have. Anyhow. So yeah, that was a slight delay because I was working on a cruiser design.
What the fuck?
What?
Poland just flipped.
Yeah, the communist. Polish People's Republic.
That's good.
Hmm? Something interesting, or?
My division. Alright, already got.
Sorry, what?
My division arrived. Fine. Oh hey, I can promote one of my generals now.
What?
I said I can promote one of my generals now.
Yeah, you might consider, yeah, promoting one of those guys to Field Marshal. One of the politically connected ones.
He is the infantry expert, so I'll promote him.
I mean, you're probably gonna eventually promote them both, so it doesn't matter much, because there's no limit to how many Field Marshals you can have.
Wait, well, still up,
One thing is, Field Marshals can be given offensive doctrine as a trait upgrade point, which helps them fight a little better, gives them +1 offense skill, even if they're used to command armies instead of army groups. So eventually, you probably want to promote everyone to Field Marshal. They get, even if you don't give them that, they get an extra trait, which you might use like for unlockable stuff like ambusher, combined arms expert. If you look at the traits, you'll see there's a lot of things that can be assigned, and they have limited slots. So yeah, eventually you promote everyone to Field Marshal if you can. Not everyone, but the people you're going to use a lot who are good at their job. Hmm.
Alright. I'm settled. Gonna pause.
Oh, I was just gonna run a focus. If you give a second. I did not realize you're unpausing, and I was trying to pick what my next focus would be. You're probably doing rural schools.
Yeah, I'm on rural schools. And I do have 102 political power. I could do early mobilization in the future.
You might want to just keep running those church decisions to improve war support. Like, well, you probably want to transfer lands to the church for the stability, and then later, if you can get church up to powerful church, then you can pardon Cristero fighters, because you're gonna want the war support, and you're gonna be weakening them again later with some of your focuses. So,
Rude.
particularly if you do enforce the Callous law later.
I'll do that. I'll transfer lands real quick.
Though you actually couldn't repeal. Well, you could repeal the Callous law and abolish capital punishment, but since you can get war support either way, I'm trying to think. Pardoning the fighters, how much political power would that cost if you were able to run it?
To pardon them, it would cost 75.
Interesting.
And
You
I
may
have to
actually be better off repealing the Callous law. You may actually be better off repealing the Callous law and abolishing capital punishment, because that will give you 160 political power, which would be enough to pardon a bunch of fighters, like, and gain more war support, since you have other things competing. Huh. I kept talking about enforcing it, but actually repealing the Cow's law might be the smarter choice here. It'll also be more immediately beneficial with the stability and helping your economic snowball. Let's see. Although if you enforce it, you can get the partial mobilization quicker. And that's assuming you're not limited by war support from. Yeah, alright. Did you just go to assertive church, or are you working your way towards powerful church right now with the transferring of lands?
I just did transfer the lands, which will be, it's active for 90 days.
At the end of which, what does it say happens when it's...
It doesn't say anything, it's just active for 90 days.
Oh, so it's probably a cooldown before you can do it again. So then they instantly went to assertive church. Okay. Yeah, if you repeal the Cow's law, you can start pardoning Cristero fighters immediately. So that may actually be better than enforcing it. But you want to get rural schools no matter what for your next thing.
Yep.
let's see. I'm on cooldown until I can take the Fair Labor Standards at. Try to cultural adjustment, and then reach at the wear group. Righty then. Guess I should build the Pentagon. And then Department of Defense. Alright, I'm good. I just had to figure out what my next focus be. Inigo Marengo takes power. Inigo Marengo takes power in Paraguay. Looks like Paraguay has just gone fascist.
I don't even know where Paraguay is.
South America, next to Brazil. Between Argentina and Brazil. It's that little country there. Or, no, they haven't gone fascist. They just took the guy who's sympathetic to the fascist cause. Fascist sympathies, it says. But yeah, no, then they'll suspend elections and turn fascist for real. So, yeah. It's just a matter of time now. I got a decision. Soviet opposition requests support. Ah, the Trotskyites want my help. Members of the anti-Stalinist Soviet opposition are currently campaigning against the Stalinist regime. A number of anti-Stalin rallies have been organized, and they are running fundraising campaigns in the U.S. In addition to raising popular support for their cause, they have secretly approached us requests for arms.
True. I mean, with our main goal being, well, from what it looks like, make the whole world communist, because why not?
Well, and for certain, dealing with the Germans, which are going to attack Poland and the Soviets, so yeah, I gave them as many rifles as I could.
Yeah. But the good thing is that now that Poland went, now Poland won't be fighting alone once they get attacked.
Yeah, instead of Poland being split between Germany and the Soviets. Probably,
Yeah.
though there is a
Soviets.
way that the Soviets could still declare war on Poland anyways, and that could still happen, actually, via a certain combination of focuses. But and the Poles, they might take a pro-Soviet path, or they can ally with France, create the Morges Pact, or they can try and ally with the United Kingdom.
allying with the United Kingdom wouldn't be a good idea, because that's just gonna pummel the Allies.
Yep.
And then the Soviets are probably gonna hate them.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It can still end up that way. Sweden went communist and Sweden joined the Axis. So,
Though since they went communist, they're more likely to ally with the Soviets.
no, they are currently in the Axis. If you look at them, Sweden is currently a member of the Axis powers and they're communists. They have this guy who is so anti-Soviet that he would rather work with the Nazis than ally with the Soviet Union. Like, that's at least the dev's interpretation of this guy's political stances, which probably aren't far off the mark, actually, in terms of representing it.
Yeah, I see. So apparently, this person right now in Sweden, who's also communist,
Yeah,
hates communism.
is allied with Hitler because some people are so deranged that they feared the Soviets more than Hitler. And this guy is clearly one of them.
Yeah. Fuck, even the German Reich right now could probably take on the Soviets.
Keep in mind that Sweden doesn't have to do that when they go communist. They get a choice of country leaders, and if they pick that guy, they join the Axis. There's a different one they can pick where they don't. But yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's Sweden. Once we get the late game and we're actually fighting off the Germans, Sweden
Sweden is
probably be done. It would probably
Sweden
be just
is a major source of like metals for it's got a lot of tungsten stuff that will actually make it much easier for the Germans and otherwise because normally they can't access a lot of resources, uh, especially if Spain, the Republic side, wins and they're at war with them. They won't be able to get tungsten from Spain. So Sweden being part of the Axis is actually a pretty big deal, and they have decisions to align Norway, who tried to go fascist earlier, if you remember. So Norway will definitely willingly join the Axis. They also have a decision if they fail to go fascist via Queensland's coup. I'm pretty sure where they can invite the Nazis to invade their country, like literally give the Germans a free war goal. And of course, uh, Finland has the whole Winter War thing, which a Trotskyite Soviet Union is going to be pretty weakened. So if that happens, they might not win that. So the Nordics could actually all end up in the Axis and all end up making a major contribution. I would not assume that Hitler is done for. If we don't take action, he could very easily win. Like, Soviets are going to be weakened by the Civil War, even with the help I'm giving the Trotskyites, so that it's not a long, slow, drawn-out war, and hopefully the Trotskyites win quickly.
so basically we need Trotsky to win as fast as possible before the German Reich can do anything to attack Poland.
Yeah, well, we at least need him to win without taking too many casualties. Speed doesn't always equal bloodless, but you don't want him losing too much manpower equipment. So, um,
True.
anyhow, although being at war does lower stability, which does lower industrial production and political power gain, so there's always some cost to me at war. Anyhow, I didn't realize you keep on pausing and not saying anything. Alright, or maybe I unpaused it. Did you unpause it or I unpaused it?
I unpaused it.
Yeah, at least mention it because I've got like 50 things I'm balancing with like naval production and trying to find the right moment to switch over an aircraft design. Like, how many do I want in stockpile before I start producing the new, somewhat better but more expensive one?
Yeah.
design isn't that much better, so I haven't gotten around to it quite yet. It is more durable, but I'm expecting to use the older one as a trainer, at least. Oh, hold on. Time to switch over that design. To a dive bomber that has dive brakes. Be harder to shoot down. I have a decision to make. Matter of priorities. Super heavy battleships can't dodge dodge hits for crap. Yep, heavy guns. I'm working on a super heavy battleship design, which is not great for naval combat, but it what they're really great for is parking and doing shore bombardment very cost effectively relative to the amount of actual industry spent on them. Something you might want to keep in mind.
Nah.
Oop, shit. This is why I was trying to. Boop, boop. Sorry, I forgot to start training my first Atlantic carrier rather than some of the ones over from the Pacific. I've just been building ships right on the East Coast. Since I don't have to worry about being attacked by Japan, it's really just a matter of dealing with. Oh, by the way, take a look at Japan if you want to laugh, sort of. Core.
Hmm?
I said take a look at Japan if you want a bit of a laugh.
Why are they 89% fascist when they're fucking
Because
communist?
they flipped, but they don't get anything that actually boosts communist support, really. And they that much, and well, there is if a player was doing Japan and going communist, the way you do it is you take the unthinkable option, and then that creates a spirit that hurts base stability but gives you communist support, and you just run it for quite a while before you cast the die. You may exchange exiles, approach young officers first, because then you can later do re-education campaign, and that'll build your stability back up. But the AI doesn't do anything like that, and so they're sitting at 1% stability right now, and 11%, 10.5% communist support. It's ridiculous. it is utterly ridiculous. The AI cannot manage communist Japan at all. So, like, they're not a threat, but they're also not a very useful ally. They're ridiculously weak under AI control. A human can actually do very, very well as them if you know how to do it. But an AI, nope. The AI is incompetent at it.
Yeah, that's why they need to rework Japanese AI.
Yeah, there's definitely some AIs that need fixing. Um,
Well, I'm gonna unpause.
hold on, I have to buy some more chromium. I keep increasing the amount
So
of
you know how
stainless.
many fac how many civilian factories do I have? Actually, I have tens. I have 10 civilian factories. So, real quick, let me. Uh, so okay, good. This one's thick, complete. That was correct. Okay.
Yeah, and don't forget what I was showing you before about after you finished building up Veracruz, I guess you're doing infrastructure there, right?
Yeah.
Because it's like you're still showing it 3 infrastructure. I'm surprised. I thought you'd have more by now. But your construction tech is maybe not the greatest. Like, what are you at with construction tech right now?
Uh, not that far.
Yeah.
I'm still only on the first
Have you
one.
started on construction 2 yet?
Yeah, I already have. It says time to research, 53 days left.
Oh, you're even
Okay.
ahead of me in it. So yeah,
Concentrated industry 2 is gonna complete in 1 day, so
I'm just surprised you haven't finished the infrastructure. That's at the top of your build queue, right? The Veracruz infrastructure.
yeah.
Hmm.
Um,
Weird.
it's at it's going to complete in October 3rd, 1937. So
Hmm.
one in-game month from now. So like 33 days. I think. Wait, no, not 33 days. 34 days.
All right. Well, so you're getting close. That's good.
Huh?
And then there's the oil fields further north to build infrastructure for. Why am I so only short on chromium?
Concentrate industry free. That's 1.41 years ahead. Synthetic oil experiments or improved machine tools. Knowing how shit I, I well, knowing how like, well, my oil's looking good, so I don't think I need fuel refining just yet. So I'm gonna go with an actually, what's an engineering? That does give me plus 3% on my research speed.
Yep.
Fortification engineering? Basic fortification. Oh, that's for land forts. I don't need that.
If you're doing, I mean, your most important thing are concentrated industry and construction technology. But after that, you probably want to like start doing some of the like at least grab the first level of electronic mechanical engineering.
Yeah, once construction 2 completes, I'll start researching.
Yeah. And mechanical computing will get bomb sites, so that'll eventually be useful for any kind of strategic bombing, which can be useful
Damn.
for bombing railroads when you push down into South America someday. So it's not useless, and it'll give you a research speed boost until then. Or using tactical bombers too, a little infrastructure bombing more likely. Not
Yeah.
strat, but yeah.
Is there anything I can, by the way, is there anything I can do here to increase planning speed? This dude's taking forever to plan.
To plan. Do you have quick improvisation? That improves planning speed.
Yeah, I do. I have quick improvisation, but still, he's taking a long fucking while to plan.
Besides quick improvisation,
Oh, I can think for Spirit of the Naval Academy. Let's see here. Best of the best.
I would wait till you have I would wait till you have your. I would wait till you grab your first. Uh, well, no, you do have that one guy, and it's gonna be a while to.
Eh.
Yeah. I guess I would. Yeah, you can just stick with that one guy for now. So then
Um,
signals training is probably good based on.
yeah. I'd have to go with signals training for now.
It helps with spotting speed, among other things, and you don't exactly have a ton of ships to throw at spotting. Um,
True. So maneuvering would be better.
Maneuvering is good for when you have numerical superiority, which you'll eventually have against the little nations you'll be bullying who have almost no navy. Like, none of the South American countries invest heavily in their
You'll be
navy.
fine.
What?
Said they'll be fine.
I'm saying they don't invest in their navy, and you're going to bully them when you conquer them. And coordination will
I'm
be
gonna
helpful
keep
for
them alive.
spotting them quicker.
I'm just gonna keep them alive with one province, that province being their capital, and I'm just gonna defend it the whole entire game. That
Defe-
one single province. They're not gonna be able to leave. I'm just leaving them in that one province just so they can suffer. They're not allowed to leave.
you probably want to finish those wars when you take the South American countries because you don't get a peace conference and you can't form like puppet governments or annex them to core them because you can core most of
Oh no,
Latin
I
America.
just do it for fun. I just bully them like that for fun.
I mean,
Just give them, one province,
it's
that one
not
province.
particularly smart. There's always other wars to fight across the world once you can core all the Central American countries. And in fact, the only country that I don't think you can core is Brazil. I'm pretty sure you have the opportunity to core every other country eventually. I could be wrong. The march south. Let's see. Integrate the South. No, that's the Central America, Caribbean.
So let's pause now.
Okay, now maybe you actually don't get to.
Because I really need this dude to plan.
Hmm. Yep. Decision. Small lobbying effort. Yes, please. Ba, ba, ba. Sorry, I had to deal with some lobbying.
Fine.
microing my last navy and trying to get a bunch of cruisers done as quickly as possible without wasting.
Do you plan on going over to Europe as fast as possible? To also, actually, you could do that. Try and get over there, because I mean, it looks like the war against the Civil War, Italy Civil War seems to be it's probably gonna last a while from what it's looking like on the front lines, because none of the front lines have moved at all.
Well, I mean,
It
you
looks
should
like
do
they're
what.
gonna take province right here. They're about to take Emilia Romagna.
Yep. I mean, they're that's good. That's a key
And
province. It
it's
won't be too
also,
long before Mussolini loses too many victory points and surrenders. And
yeah,
um,
you also get the upper hill on that one too.
I
Fuck
mean,
that cavalry's moving over there though.
I may be taking limited intervention United States, which can intervene sooner than the U.S. historically did, but I have very little ability to make a full commitment to the war for quite a while, especially
Also,
when.
I know, knowing this plan right now, even though it's not done planning, does it really matter if I move my unit over here to help attack, or will take out this guy to try and get that province,
Over
a
here,
million Magna?
I don't know what you're saying. I mean, you want to you want to finish off Mussolini as fast as possible. So, like, if there's a chance to attack, do it. You know,
Where's Mussolini?
he's the guy in charge of fascist Italy, Mussolini.
Oh yeah. Uh, from what it's looking like, because all their cavalry's moving, so I'd have to say take out take out. I'm gonna have my troops move up there and help take them out fast. One.
All right, I just finished another ship. Uh, there's something satisfying about just spamming out ships the way the United States does it. I have to say. There is definitely something satisfying about that. Um,
We'll send over more volunteers. Nope. Dude. Also, why'd you pause it?
because I was deploying new ships, and they don't like deploy automatically. I have to go mess with that. So I was renaming ships and telling ships to go places. um,
I see, I see.
some of my cruisers are naturally designed, it looks like, for protecting the capital ships, the Wichita class, and others. They're meant to protect carriers, and the New Orleans is more of an independent cruiser. Fun. Tech complete. Sweet. Are you running a Spirit of the Army Academy, by the way?
Spirit of the Army Academy. No.
Hmm. Your general who's leading the guys in Italy, is he at all close to leveling up? Probably not.
Let me check. No, he needs 1,000 experience.
So what percent is he at?
5%.
Oh. Okay. So yeah, then you
I
might.
don't think he's gonna level up anytime soon.
What?
I don't think he's gonna level up anytime soon.
Nope. You probably can focus on trying to get your army doctrines then. How much political power do you have?
I feel like I am metal.
What?
What metal should I give my unit over here in Italy?
I wouldn't give him a medal right now. I was just about to say you don't have a chief of the army yet. How much political power do you have?
65.
Yeah, at some point you need to probably spend I think it's 100 to appoint a chief of the army. Although, yeah, you might do that, especially if Bulgarian alliance. Well, no, that
So
doesn't
we've
affect.
almost won this war of what's this province called? Emilia Romagna. Because once we take uh Emilia Romagna, then we can just straight shot the Parma. and then go over to Bologna, or I could stay back, or I could have my volunteers stay back and help in Genova, or I could try and go straight for Milano after we take Emilia Romagna.
I'd be very cautious of thinking you can push deep with like one or two infantry divisions, because usually when you try that, the division takes a province or two, then the enemy attacks in the province they just left, takes it, then they're encircled, and then they get destroyed. Infantry don't move very quickly, and even if they did move quickly, you need other units to cover their rear, to cover the provinces that they took behind them. So, I mean, mostly you just gotta, if you only have like one division, you just gotta focus on helping whatever the Italians decide is important to attack. You can't really set priorities in the war if you only have one division on the front. So, um, what you can do is look for places where Italy is already attacking and help the battle and help them win. So if they're
Yeah,
attacking
it
you,
looks like, yeah, they're all trying to take Emilia Romagna because the AI knows that if they take that key point, then
Emilia
basically,
Romagna, there is no point called Emilia Romagna. That's the name of a state. Do you mean Bologna or Genoa?
I mean, the mountain right below Parma with the cavalry unit on it.
I
That's the
can't
one
see
I'm trying
what's
to take.
there, but okay, so they're trying to take that mountain range.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right there. That's what it's called, Emilia Romagna.
well, that's just the name of the state, is Emilia Romagna. Emilia Romagna is multiple provinces. If you clicked on any of them, it would say Emilia Romagna. It's
Uh,
like saying Greater New
yeah,
York
province.
or
Yeah. Did you
Kentucky.
get one? I mean, the province right below Parma.
Yeah,
Right now, I'm guessing because it looks like all of the most of the troops are trying to rush um um that province.
towards Parma. Yeah. Well, you could help that, but they're probably already at the combat with Cap. If
Yeah, I'm already helping them right now. And from what it looks like, that most of their units are low, so I'm guessing they're mainly relying off division, my division D infantry.
hmm.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're org cycling to try and push through the mountains. Not surprising. Well, then there's not much you can do differently. But wait,
right now it looks like they're rushing. They're. It looks like the enemy is trying to rush down to Firenze. Crap, that's not good. They took that mountain region just above Firenze. But it's just a mountain near, so we should be good. Because this cavalry's also about to be taken out, too. Why'd you pause it?
just checking something with my avoid massive
Bro,
waste in shipbuilding.
how is this cavalry alive? Dude has no HP. I mean, he has literally 0.
Probably like 3 guys with rifles on horseback.
They're using sticks and stones. Okay, good. We push that province, and yeah, now they're going straight here.
That's interesting. France decided to actually help Spain with some equipment shipments. They usually don't. Like, when I was playing Spain in the multiplayer game, they just screwed over.
Bad news, the Italian Union is not looking too good. It looks like the fascists are starting to actually push now.
I mean, there will be pushes both ways, but the vast majority of the industry and manpower and stuff is on the side of,
Yeah, also, can we unpause it?
Hold on, I just had, for some stupid reason, the game tried to build a obsolete ship design. I probably had 2 queued up. So I'm modernizing that.
Though, if we do plan on pausing the game a lot like this, can we turn up the speed to 3? Because, I mean, we can pause whenever we need if something happens.
Yeah, the problem is I have trouble thinking fast enough to keep up with 3 for long, so...
Holy, we are defending. Oh my god.
What?
Stay back me. My fucking division, dude. My division with their division combined, we just defended off our mountain region that we just took so quickly. It was actually insane. Like, it didn't even take a day. It just ended.
I don't get what you're saying. You're saying you talk about the fascists taking a state, or
Yeah, they were trying to take
province?
our province, our mountain province just below Parma, and we defended it real quickly. Anyways, unpause.
Hold on. I was trying to. Tsarem of Bulgaria joins the Danubian Federation. I was gonna say you can circle that division next to France if you take the province, the mountain south of Bologna. One of their Italians will be encircled. Bulgaria is... What the heck? They decided to join what's basically the future Austro-Hungarian Empire. That's weird. What?
Okay, done.
If you take a quick look at the faction map, it's next to intelligence. You'll see what's going on there. Oh, geez. Speaking of things that missed, how did my spy... Oh, it's because of the...
Looks like Yugoslavia and them did the Danubian Federation. Let's see here.
Yeah, so I was trying to... Yugoslavia joined the Nubian Federation a while ago, and Bulgaria just joined. I don't know if you got the news pop-up for that. This is... Eventually, the Nazis are going to attack Austria, and that means that they're going to march all the way into Bulgaria. Eventually, since they should be able to take that faction down, unless others join them.
So what was you saying I should do? To encircle? Oh, I see. Go for this, dude.
Yeah, if you take the mountain south of Bologna, you can encircle the guys next to Florence.
Yeah, I see what you... Yeah. Alrighty, can we unpause it?
Yep. I was just looking at the map very quickly and considering what might happen. I mean, you gotta stop and assess here and there, because otherwise you just blindly walk right off a cliff. Although, with the way things are, it may seem optimistic, but if the Nazis unite most of Europe, it doesn't matter if the countries try and go communist if the Nazis just conquer them all. Is the thing. Oh, you can see what focuses the Baltic countries are doing because they're all under free trade. Peasant reform? Priestly prime minister. That's unusual for Lithuania. Never seen him do that. Peace with Poland. Strength and unity. Looks like they're probably trying to do strength and unity, victor and trust. I don't know if they're trying to do a dictate or not, but I think they're gonna form the Balkan Federation. I mean the Baltic Federation. I think that's what's called the Baltic Economic Union. So so the Eastern European countries are farming their own little factions, which will get gobbled up by the Nazis without help.
Look at Spain real quick. Oh yeah, Spain's doing fine.
Yep.
Actually, surprisingly much, Carlos Spain is actually pushing back the nationalists.
One or the other was going to win, either the nationalists or the Carlists. So I'm not surprised. The anarchists are still holding on in the northeast, surprisingly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, knowing literally the Spanish directly, or well, national Spain isn't going for them. They're completely focused on Carlos Spain right now.
Romania went democratic and took Balkans dominance. That's the one version where instead of they haven't switched on the line yet, institute a royal dictatorship, but they took Balkans dominance, which means they're gonna attack Hungary and Bulgaria. Jeez, the Balkans are gonna be chaos. I don't know if Romania is going to stay democratic or not, but Turkey turned into a democracy, by the way. understand. I thought the Turks had achieved Ataturk's dream, but instead they got a penalty to their stability. Weird. And a bunch of random senators just went into opposition. I'm having a really tough time with the House. Well, the Senate's not doing terrible, but I'm having a tough time with the House, at least. What focus are you on? Oh, I can see. Peripheral infrastructure, rural infrastructure. You're doing rural schools now, right?
Yeah.
Cool. You'll finally get your third research slot.
I have units ready for deployment. Oh, I have a training brigade. Oh, lovely. Completely forgot they existed, but oh well. There we go. I just deployed a random training brigade. So I'm gonna grab you and put you in there.
I have a decision to make here. Matter of priorities. Hit points helps against everything. Torpedoes, I'm only gonna have a couple of these surrounded with anti-airships. But yeah, no, I'm gonna give them anti-artillery. Fun. Oh geez, this YouTube video's gone real long. For that, I'm gonna cut the video for anyone watching YouTube, start a new one. Also, Core, I'm just gonna save this real quick because it's been a while since I saved it. And if anything went wrong, it'd be good to have a save in place, like the game crashed, as it very rarely does.